Sarah moved into the old house in mid-October, a little earlier than planned. The leaves had just started turning, and the air carried that brittle edge of coming frost. She told herself the timing was perfect, just her and her 7-year-old daughter, Lily, starting over fresh in a peaceful, quiet town, where nothing ever really happened. The kind of town where people still left their doors unlocked and neighbors waved across the street. But almost immediately, something felt off. The house itself wasn't outwardly strange. 2 stories, a gabled roof, and a yard full of brittle brown leaves. It had been built in the 1960s, well maintained, and had that musty charm of age without rot. Still, Sarah couldn't shake the subtle sense of watching eyes when she passed certain rooms, especially the hallway upstairs. Lily's room was across from what they called the spare room, though they kept it empty aside from a few unopened boxes. The door was always shut. Sarah didn't like that room much. On the first night, nothing unusual happened. They ate pizza on paper plates, unpacked a few essentials, and watched a movie cuddled on the couch. By 9 p.m., Lily was yawning, so Sarah took her upstairs, tucked her in, kissed her forehead, and turned off the light. The only sound was the faint creak of the house settling. A peaceful start. The second night, at exactly 9:03 p.m., Sarah was reading in the living room when she heard a faint voice. Lily's, upstairs. It was muffled but clear enough. "Mom, I'm scared. I think something's in my room." Sarah's blood chilled for a moment, but she shook it off. Kids said things like that. She hurried upstairs to find Lily fast asleep, curled under her covers with her stuffed rabbit in her arms. Sarah stood there a while, listening to the silence. There was nothing, no sound, no presence, just her own racing heart. On the third night, she heard it again. 9:03 p.m. "Mom, it's under my bed." The voice was soft, trembling. She bolted upstairs. Again, Lily was sleeping peacefully. No sign of fear, no bad dreams. Sarah even looked under the bed, finding only dust bunnies and a missing sock. The fourth night, Sarah stayed upstairs in the hallway outside Lily's room. 9:01, 9:02. Then, right on cue, 9:03, the voice came again. "Mom, please help. It's here again." But this time, it wasn't coming from Lily's room. It came from behind the door to the spare room. Sarah's throat went dry. She stared at the doorknob, frozen. The door was closed, as always, and she hadn't heard it open. Slowly, she reached for the knob, but it was locked. She never locked that door. In fact, she didn't even remember there being a lock on it. Then the voice came again, louder now. "Mom, open the door. I'm stuck in here. It's dark." Sarah's pulse pounded in her ears. The voice, it sounded like Lily's voice, exactly like her daughter. But Lily's room was right behind her.
Lily stood there, sleepy-eyed, holding her stuffed rabbit, rubbing her eyes. "Mom, what's wrong?" Sarah backed away from the door slowly. "Go back to bed, sweetie," she whispered. But Lily didn't move. She just stared at the door behind her mother. Her voice barely audible. "Who's in there?" Sarah didn't sleep that night. The next day, she called a locksmith to remove the doorknob entirely. When he left, she opened the door to the spare room, empty, boxes untouched. The air inside was cold and slightly metallic, like copper and rot. She left it open for the rest of the day, then shut it at night. No lock, no voice. Until the next night, 9:03 p.m. Again. "Mom, please, I'm so cold. Why did you leave me here?" This time, the voice was angry. Still Lily's voice, but wrong, slurred, distorted, dragging the vowels too long. "I'm right here, Mommy. You looked at me. You saw me. Why won't you open the door?" Sarah covered her ears. The voice grew louder. "You're not my mother." And then silence. Sarah sat outside Lily's room the entire night, listening. The next morning, she took Lily to a hotel. Just for a night, she told herself, just to clear her head. But when she returned to the house the following afternoon to grab a few things, the front door was ajar. She was sure she had locked it. She stepped inside cautiously. The air was heavy, as if the house itself was holding its breath. She climbed the stairs. The door to the spare room was open. Inside, the boxes had been torn apart, papers scattered, cardboard ripped, like something had clawed its way out. She turned to leave, then heard her daughter's voice again. From behind her, "Mom, are you leaving me again?" Sarah didn't turn around. She didn't speak. She just walked, slowly and steadily, down the stairs and out of the house. She never went back. Lily sometimes asked about the old house. Why they left so quickly, why they never packed everything. Sarah always said the same thing: it wasn't really our home. But sometimes, in the middle of the night, Sarah wakes to the sound of something tapping gently on the wall. And a soft voice, whispering from behind her bedroom closet door. "You forgot me, Mommy. I didn't